What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Wolf's Den. Kick back and relax. Get your coffee, get your alcohol, get your ganja, get whatever relaxes with you. And yeah, we're just gonna kick back and chill. I got some gaming headlines we're gonna go over. Talk about the games coming out this month, the films coming out this month. A couple articles in the film industry I wanted to go over too. Mostly Marvel, to be honest. But we also are gonna talk about the D&D movie and the Tetris movie that is out now. So it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna start with film and then gradually work our way to the gaming because there's a lot more topics. But starting with Marvel, they fired a couple people. They fired Kevin Feige's second in command, who said X-Men is not inclusive enough of a title. They wanted to rename it The Mutants. They also pushed back all their series to coming soon, including the Secret Invasion and Loki series that I was actually really looking forward to seeing what they can make of them. And the chairman of Marvel Entertainment as well, he got fired. What does this mean? You know, is it going to be more woke or less? How are things going to go in the future? Is Marvel finally getting their head out of their ass? Well, it just doesn't make sense. You know, they fire the second in command woke lady, right? And then now they fired this anti-woke man that, you know, he was trying to get the comic books back on track. I think he was much more involved with the comics. And, you know, with Marvel's comics being subpar the last, I don't know, decade or so, that's not a huge surprise. But why would you fire him? I don't. I mean, I get it. He's kind of like an old head, but I don't know. That seems a little surprising to me. The Marvels also got pushed to November, which is no surprise seeing what's coming in July. You know, you got Mission Impossible, Transformers. There's a bunch of titles coming out in the summertime, so that's not a surprise. I don't know how that movie's gonna go over, you know, because I mean, Carol Danvers wasn't really the best represented character the MCU. I've heard she's, you know, not the greatest in the comics, so, you know, some people are saying, you know, they casted them well and all that, but I'm not really too interested in Captain Marvel. Then you have Miss Marvel, which there's zero interest with her character arc and all that. And then the third one, the Monica Rambeau, she might be like the highlight for me, which is crazy because I wouldn't have figured a random. I don't even know if she's in the comics or not. She might be. I'd have to check on that, but she seems like she's gonna be the highlight. So that's crazy to think about. And then the big news article that I wanted to go over concerning Marvel. Well, there's two, but this one is kind of like more garnered towards me. Captain America: The New World Order is rumored to be becoming a Hulk-centered film. That's good, I guess. I never imagined Sam Wilson as Captain America anyway. Hopefully, you know, he gets the serum at some point, I hope, you know. But with She-Hulk, how being the way that was, and the casting for I think it's called Sabra, being totally off. You know, it doesn't look anything like the comic book adaptation. I'm unsure if I'm really completely sold on this movie. You know, I'd love to see Red Hulk. You know, that'd be awesome. I'd love to see, you know, the Abomination, especially this new version that's actually huge. You know, much bigger than the Hulk. That would be really cool if they clashed. And just like a more serious Hulk plotline. You know, I know they're rumoring this World War Hulk movie. Hopefully, this can kind of set it up. I'd imagine. Hopefully, I don't know what they're doing. There's also in the Hulk universe, there's I think Rick, his buddy Rick. I might be getting all this wrong. I'm sorry if I am, but I think his buddy Rick becomes like the blue. I forget what he's called, man. It's like the atom bomb or something along those lines. But hopefully they can turn the Hulk franchise, like just like the center characters of what all these Hulk characters are. Hopefully they can come together and actually be decent. Because you know, the Hulk's son, he looked totally off. I think his name's Scar. I think that was what his name was. But I don't know. I'm very unsure on this movie, if I'm gonna be completely honest. And then the next one was Stephen Young, or I think that's how you say his name, Stephen Yeun, the Walking Dead star who played Glenn. You know, who got his head smashed in by what was it, Negan? He's been casted as Sentry for the Thunderbolts. Are you joking? You know, I love the actor and some of his work, but nonetheless, he is significantly smaller than the character. I mean, this is a Henry Cavill sized character, and we get Glenn. Why hasn't anyone called the lead from the Reacher show? He would be perfect for so many roles. I mean, I don't know. It's a sad day. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I really, you know, I'm not a huge Sentry fan, you know, but, you know, when I started hearing rumblings about the character being casted, I went back and looked up some of his story arcs. He's very interesting. There's a lot to work with there, and he could be like a powerhouse. You know how you had Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, like they established the MCU. We kind of need somebody like that again, and this is not going to do it for me. I'm sorry. It's just, and you know, people act like they want more unknowns, but then when they adapt them, they ruin the characters. You know, like like MODOK. You know, there's plenty of examples, and people in the community just leave it to, I don't care. I didn't read a lot of the Sentry comics back in the day. Let's just wait and see. Well, how would you feel if it was your favorite character and you see Glenn playing such an OP character with so much potential? And you know, this could be said the same with Iron Man. Not too many people were Iron Man fans, and they still managed to do him justice with his film. That's all I'm saying. Like, this could be said for the same as Sentry. Like, we can't get these subpar versions and expect people not to be a little irritated that Sentry isn't this badass character, and they're probably gonna make it more philosophical, or I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Maybe he's gonna, you know, buff up. That would be really cool. You know, I like him in what is it called? Invincible. That's an amazing show, and you know, he's awesome in it. But he should stick to voice acting. He's not Sentry. I'm sorry. Like, it's like they took his character from Invincible and they're like, let's put him in the MCU. You know, ride the trend. You know, and that's a shady way to go about doing it, I feel like. But that's just me. That's all I'm saying. With the D&D movie, it got a 90+ rating on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics and the audiences. I don't know. I'm passing on it. It doesn't really look like a must-watch. You know, I'll stream it or rent it later on down the road. You know, because they kind of turned me off when they admitted to emasculating their leading man because they thought it would be funny and fresh, not woke. I swear, it's not because we're woke. We want it to be funny and fresh, and that's just, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Because I like Chris Pine. He was kind of like the main reason I was gonna go see it. So when I heard that, I'm like, well, you just docked some points for yourself. So that sucks. But the movie, I think so far is at like 15 million at the box office, so it's doing pretty bad compared to, you know, John Wick last weekend was like 75 domestically. So or actually it kind of got more than that if we combine worldwide. It was like 137. So it did amazing compared to what the D&D movie is doing, and you know, people expected it, so that's not really a shock. But and then Tetris, the Tetris movie, it hit Apple TV. I can't wait to see this. Probably watch it later tonight. It's such a crazy story in and itself, you know. Pack that with a nice cast, and I'm game. You know, check it out. It should be really interesting. If you don't know the story, it's, you know, the developer behind Tetris kind of had it locked away from everybody behind the Iron Curtain back in the Cold War, and just trying to get, you know, I'm sure this is a much more dramatic version of what actually happened, but you know, should be really awesome to watch nonetheless. So I'll tell you guys about it next week if I'm into it or if I hated it, disappointed, whatever. But you know, films to look forward to this month. There's a lot I wanted to go over. I mean, not really. You know, we're just gonna briefly go over some of these. April 5th, we got the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Obviously, I really want to see that movie because it looks decent. You know, I don't know if I go without my girlfriend. You know, she seems much more interested than I do, but it doesn't seem like a total disaster. You know, like when I heard the casting, I was expecting it to be just be like a joke, like a parody. You know, you had what you call him, Seth Rogen was playing Donkey Kong. You had the dude from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was playing Luigi. Chris Pratt was playing Mario. Like it seems a little off in that context. So I didn't have super high hopes, but when you see it all play out, it honestly doesn't look terrible. So that shit. But Air, I gotta say, I'm much more excited for Air. Air looks like a really interesting movie. I love Michael Jordan. He was always awesome to watch growing up, but to see how they actually made the shoe brand and all that, that's gonna be awesome. You can't doubt it. Not to mention, you have a stellar cast. They have so many great actors in that movie. You know, you have obviously Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and Ben Affleck is directing it. But then you also have Chris Tucker. He's going to be in it. You have Jason Bateman. There's a couple other ones as well. So, I mean, the movie looks incredible. Excuse me. It looks incredible. I can't wait to see it. April 7th, you got Paint, which I'm probably going to pass on that, even though I'm a huge Bob Ross fan. I don't really think Owen Wilson is the right casting for that. That's a little strange. I don't know if that's a parody or what. I think I just skimmed the trailer when I saw it, but I mean, all you Bob Ross fans, that's for you. The 14th, we got Renfield, which, you know, we'll see how that goes. I'm still a little skeptical, but I do like Nicolas Cage, and it looks like he's, you know, making a comeback tour with some of these bomb ass movies. So we'll just have to wait and see. The Pope's Exorcist as well, with Russell Crowe. That's gonna be really, I don't know. I'm kind of burnt out in the whole exorcisms, demonology tropes. You know, I think The Conjuring kind of ruined it after a point, and Insidious, just these meh titles. You know, after a point, you know, they're amazing initially. You know, like the first couple Insidious movies were cool, but then they kind of The Conjuring first couple were cool, and then it's just, I don't know, I'm kind of just burnt out, but it does look interesting, and I do love Russell Crowe, so, you know, it's gonna have some top tier acting in it. So that's, I don't know, I might check it out. We'll see how it goes, because I think I would rather, like, I don't know, I would rather see The Pope's Exorcist over Renfield in theater. It just seems like much more of a cinematic experience versus Renfield, but that could just be me. And then Mafia Mama, which I'm totally passing on that. I don't even really like the actress that's playing in it. Can't even name her. She just looks like a horse and everything. I don't really vibe well with a lot of the things she's played in, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll rent it at some point and see what it's about. I'm a huge Mafia fan, but it seems like, you know, everything Mafia related is done poorly, and that's a disappointment. And then April 21st, we got Evil Dead Rise. That's a day one. That's going to be awesome. The Covenant. That's also going to be pretty awesome. Guy Ritchie kind of flopped with that last one with Jason Statham. What is going on with the... I guess... Yeah, okay. I just had to fix that. But yeah, The Covenant. It's going to be awesome with Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm pumped. That should be a really good movie. You know, it just sucks that it's coming out the same day as Evil Dead Rise, because I don't want to really see two movies in one day, but those two are fantastic. And then you got Ghosted going to Apple TV, which I think I can't remember if I said anything about Ghosted. It basically looks like if you gender flopped Night and Day, that movie with Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz, if you just gender flipped him. You know, like the woman saving the guy, and it's all this, it's like funny action movie. I don't know, I'm just not into it. Seems like Chris Evans has really lost, like he lost a lot of his muscle structure for this role, obviously. So you can't have this giant dude getting bitch whipped, and I don't know, I'm just not into it. And then Beau is Afraid, something with Joaquin Phoenix. He's playing some trippy movie, so that should be something. And then the month ends with Peter Pan and Wendy, which is going to Disney Plus. Looks interesting. And then the Big George Foreman, which again, I think I said in my trailer reaction video, the big George Foreman. I do not know George Foreman's story. I didn't know he was religious. You know, I didn't know he really made a big comeback. Just wasn't really familiar. I like boxing, don't get me wrong, I just don't know a shit ton of the history, you know, but that's just me. But yeah, that's about it for all the film news though, all the headlines. So let's just go right into the gaming. There's so much more to talk about with the gaming. Which I think is going to be a standard. That's why, like, my girlfriend was watching this podcast, and she's just not a gamer. She's not into gaming, and she loved the movie bits. And she was like, I thought I'd put it first, just for her, since it's very short. What is it? How long was that? Yeah, it was only like 17 minutes to cover all that. But yeah, as for gaming, I don't know what is up with my internet. We had a storm last night, knocked out our power. So I hope that the internet ain't all fucky. But it seems like I'm having trouble playing some shit for some reason. Pissing me off a little bit, not gonna lie. Hold on. Because you guys can't hear what I'm listening to, so just don't want to get copyrighted, I guess. Spotify works. Fucking weird. Okay, but yeah, a lot of gaming news came out this week. Crazy, honestly. A lot of things I just want to talk about too. I thought I'd break it down with some, start off with the headlines, go to some cool titles that I noticed that kind of like surprised me with some news, and then we'll end it with some, just some discussions on certain topics, and kind of relay, what games are coming out this month. Should be cool. First off, big news: E3 is dead. It's such a sad time, but this was inevitable. I feel like, once I seen the big three wasn't showing, I lost faith that this year's show would actually go through. Do you guys think that, E3 is still up for a comeback, possibly next year? Maybe, turn it into a smaller showcase, be more like a PAX style of, but I don't know, because that's a huge, like, they would have to move, I would feel like. They wouldn't be in LA at that point, which is, it's so iconic, It's just the E3 branding and, just Electronics Expo, like, it's just amazing, and it has so much history. Like, it can't die. Like, E3 versus Summer Games Fest, it just rings a different way, That's just me. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? Is E3 completely dead? RIP E3? Or, is it gonna make some type of comeback for 2024? We'll just have to see. I kind of highly doubt it. But on the flip side, I hope that they do something with E3 in the future. But with everybody doing these streaming their own live shows, like Ubisoft has theirs, Sony has the State of Play, you got Xbox Directs, Nintendo Directs, just about everybody, Konami, Square, they all have their own little press conference whenever they feel like it. It just makes it weird, because like where's gaming go after this? Because we always had E3 to prepare us for the rest of the year. So if there's no preparing in June, it's gonna be interesting to see how we all get our news, because that was the funnest part about watching E3, is seeing everything that's the timeline, seeing what's released and when, and now it's and everybody kind of gathered together in like a peaceful competition, right? And now it's kind of just gonna be all over the place, like, oh, don't announce our shit right now, they're doing their thing, let's wait a month, and then it kind of just doesn't feel the same, I guess, but it is what it is. Counter-Strike 2 is also coming out this year. Could it shake things up in the FPS world? That would be pretty interesting, being how popular Counter-Strike actually is still after all these years. But what I'm more interested in is an orange box 2. Can you just imagine with me real quick? We get Half-Life 3 Left 4 Dead 3, Team Fortress 3, and then, you know, Counter-Strike 2, or possibly, you know, Counter-Strike, some type of spin-off. I don't know. It'd be really interesting. That'd be awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully Valve is using all that buku Steam money very wisely, because I feel like those are some major franchises that just have been left in the dust. I know we had Half-Life Alyx, but it's not the same, you know. And then Left 4 Dead 3, that would be legendary, not gonna lie, because Back 4 Blood was a massive disappointment. So this is the perfect opportunity for Valve to say this is how you do it, and see where that would go. Team Fortress 3, I mean, I'd buy it, I'd play it, no doubt. But yeah, Counter-Strike 2, I'm definitely gonna. It looks so much better. Like they have a new engine, so like when you throw a smoke grenade, you could like literally shoot the smoke and it'll kind of like drift away in certain patterns depending on how you shoot it, from which angles, and that's just tactical as fuck. That's awesome. That really is cool. But yeah, I mean, it's a very competitive game too, but it's very basic at the same time. So like I would definitely play that over like Valorant. I've seen Valorant on the PC Game Pass, and I thought about it, but I don't know, I'm not really into it. But yeah, Counter-Strike 2 is coming, so that's gonna be something. Cyberpunk 2077's expansion, Phantom Liberty, is also getting some more information in June. Probably the Summer Games Fest. I doubt it'll reel me back into Cyberpunk, but you know, I'll see what they got. I'm not gonna be a hater, but I'm sure it's nothing super extravagant that's like, oh, I gotta go back. And it's like, I already put in like, I don't even remember, probably like 70, 80 hours of, maybe even more. I don't even remember. It was literally been years. And they just put out the expansion, you know? So I think it's a little late, but honestly, I didn't expect people to jump back into their arms this fast, you know, with this major fuck up, and then everybody's kind of like, oh, you don't want to be the next Cyberpunk, you don't, and then we're just forgiving them. A couple years later, it's like, oh, I think I'll go back and play it. I really want. They're like, dude, we gotta really grill these developers so they don't pull this shit anymore. Because if this is all it took is an expansion years later for them to get good with their fan base again, that's pretty shitty, honestly. Like we can't just bend over for these companies, bro. That's just not the way it should be. But if it has a lot to offer, I can't argue with that. So we'll just have to wait and see. There's also this other game, Meet Your Maker. It's a day one PS Plus release. I heard a little bit about it. I didn't hear anything that it was a PlayStation Plus release. I don't know how I didn't hear anything about that, but you know, it looks interesting. The little bit that I've seen, I'm definitely gonna check it out to probably Monday when it comes out on PS Plus. But it looks interesting. I was shocked that PlayStation Plus has a day one release for a title. Like that just never happens. I feel like usually it's always older games, like 6 to 8 months, you know, previously released. So I don't know. We'll see what it is. I think it's like one of these games you can like build levels and let your friends play them and shit. So we'll see what's up with that. What's the next one? Atlas Fallen has been delayed to August 10th. It was previously at May 6th. So I don't know if I'm really super hyped for it. It looks like a classic PS2 game, like a beat 'em up, kind of like a God of War or Devil May Cry, where you're just this awesome dude in the desert wrecking people. So I mean, it shouldn't be that bad. I mean, am I gonna pay $70 for it? Probably not. Hopefully it comes to Game Pass. Hopefully. But yeah, that got delayed to August 10th. Another leak. Well, not leak. I don't know how you would, because this isn't a leak. It's like it's not a rumor. It's pretty much legit at this point. And then you gotta wonder, is this planned by Sony? Which I haven't even told you what the fuck it is. But Spider-Man 2, the release date got leaked by the Venom voice actor. He states that the ads will begin in August with a September release. So I don't know. This could be Sony. This is just their marketing campaign. Like, they're like, all right, you're gonna get on Twitter, all right, and you're gonna tell people when the game's coming out, and just ruffle everybody's feathers. So, and we're gonna talk later about you know how that's gonna roll out. Can you imagine Starfield and Spider-Man 2? That's we'll talk about that later, but but that's just insane that these which I guess there's been a lot of hate on the gaming industry that we don't get, like, the actors don't have the freedom to just blurt out when things are in production or when things are looking to release. And I totally get it. It's competition. You don't want gaming and film are two different landscapes. You could say whatever about a movie coming out and it wouldn't change how many people go and see it, but gaming wise, if a game's coming out alongside one of your other favorite games, might make things a little difficult making some choices. So, but yeah, that's actually kind of funny. I mean, for 2023, it's looking like it's Spider-Man 2. Like, when it comes to the platform holders, you have Spider-Man 2 versus Starfield. I mean, if you want to lump in Forza as well, that's kind of Microsoft's other big one, but I wouldn't count Renfield. Or Redfall. Is that what the fuck it was? I think that kind of makes my point. But yeah, Spider-Man 2 versus Starfield versus Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. That's a tough one, man. That really is, because I mean, obviously the Legend of Zelda is going to be cool, seeing the gameplay. I'm just not I'm not the biggest Zelda fan. I'm not a diehard that I need to get it day one, even though I know there's not going to be a price drop. Nintendo never drops the price for their games, which is very frustrating, but it is what it is. Starfield's going to come to Game Pass. Well, one, it's coming to Game Pass, but it's also a Bethesda title. It's going to be janky. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to have its issues. So I can just wait while I play Spider-Man 2. Wait for him to fix the kinks, and it'll all be good. It should be good, because Spider-Man 2 is going to be probably like a 10 to 15 hour experience, and hopefully by then which I imagine they're not going to release the same week. I imagine Spider-Man's going to release early September, Starfield's going to be late September. Well, when the fuck was Starfield coming out? I should look that up, shouldn't I? Let's see. Yeah, the 6th. So maybe it will happen, because I mean, if they're running ads for Spider-Man in August, you would imagine it's coming out early September, or at least like the first 2 weeks, right? So that's going to be really interesting to see those go head to head. You got Starfield and you got Spider-Man. Which one has more of a, which one's garnered more of a fan base? Everybody knows Spider-Man. Anybody with a PS5 is going to buy it, hands down. It's going to be one of the greatest games on the platform. And then, could it take away some sales from Xbox? I don't know. We'll just have to see. Starfield being an awesome RPG, but again, it's a Bethesda game. Has Bethesda kind of lost their crowd over the years? It's been forever since we've had a good Fallout or Elder Scrolls game. So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. I think Starfield really matters, though. They cannot just ride this year off with Forza. Forza's probably going to be awesome, don't get me wrong, but if Starfield is a flop, that's going to be huge for the industry. I do feel. Hopefully it isn't a bust. That would be really sad, honestly. The Last of Us Part 1 port. I'll drink to that. Yeah, that's just sad. I feel so bad for all the PC players. But then again, I mean, you fuckers always brag and talk shit that, you have, which I mean, I have a PC, I play on PC, but the PC elitists, They act like they have, you know, that their shit don't stink and they have so much content they don't need Sony's games. And then they cry when their titles, their ports are terrible, you know, which I mean, it's a tough job to do ports, but this is pretty embarrassing. You know, obviously they wanted to release it alongside the TV show in an aspect, but man, that's not worth all this criticism. You know, some of the glitches make it look like a PS1 game at times with the graphics going in and out. Constant frame rate issues. So I mean, if you're on PC, I'd wait this one out for a little bit and be cautious with Sony's PC releases. You know, not all are this way. Fortunately, I do believe God of War was a nice port. However, Horizon also had some issues, so just be careful, you know. But I mean, honestly, the landscape of pre-ordering is pretty much non-existent now, unless you have some killer special edition that comes with some awesome shit. You know, I don't see any reason to really pre-order unless you know, but you never really know. You don't know what a game is going to be like on day one. The servers could be fucking trash, like Diablo 4. I feel like the servers are going to have issues. That's going to be a huge one. You just don't know what comes of a day one release to even pre-order anymore. But then you also don't know if they're going to be in stock. You know, I mean, if you go digital, you don't have to worry about all that, but I'm not a digital man. I like my discs in my hand. So but yeah, I that's just depressing though. That, like, this is the first time, because I don't know if you got to play if the PC community got to play The Last of Us at all, or if this is like the first port to PC. I'm pretty sure they had to have put maybe not though. This is kind of new for Sony, the whole porting to PC. The Diablo 4, you're just speaking of the devil. You like that pun? The Diablo 4 themed Xbox Series X is disappointing. I was expecting something else. You know, it's pretty much just a regular Xbox. That's it. I mean, it comes with the game, but it is disappointing. Hopefully we can get something more interesting for Starfield's, you know, possible, you know, themed console if they put one out. Because I miss the days of, you know, you had, you know, the Halo 3, which I think Xbox was really the main one that did that. I don't think PlayStation did too many console revisions, you know. Like, you had the 360, it had the Gears of War 360, the Halo 360, bunch of them, you know. So that'd be really cool if they could start doing some cool shit, you know, for this expensive ass console. And the last little headline that I wanted to go over is the PSVR 2. The sales are underperforming according to Sony. You know, could we see a price cut come? Already a price cut? Are you joking? I mean, it costs more than the console. Of course we could. A price cut's coming, man. If it doesn't sell, but you know, we'll know more the first week of May with Sony's financial briefings. So just a month or so, but I don't know. I still don't think the average gamer is into VR just yet. You know, the PSVR 2 might be the way to go. I don't know. The Oculus was a little disappointing for us personally. The PSVR 2 might, you know, have an edge on it with the tech specs, but $550 is a lot. You know, and for a handful of games that I already can play on the Oculus, you know, so there's not a lot of value there, especially the Horizon game. The climbing simulator is what it should be called, you know. So I don't know if I'm really too interested in the PSVR 2 whatsoever. You know, I didn't buy the first one, which was really nothing to, you know, talk about. But I don't know. Maybe if it was 400, 450. That'd be really interesting. Maybe I'll pick one up, but 500 is a bit much, to be honest. And transitioning that into some cool titles I've seen. Dead Island 2, fun fact, isn't open world, but level based. Granted, massive levels, but yeah, I thought I'd bring this up because it gives me so much more hope for Dead Island 2, not only as a game on its own, but as a franchise as well. I can't wait to check this out later this month. It's going to be amazing. But it just seems like kind of like a Dead Rising style of Dead Island. Like they went more towards, you know, what like their strong suits are, which is, you know, crafting these weapons and just killing zombies. It's gonna be awesome, you know. I cannot wait. I can't wait. I didn't know that. I thought it was just an open world, like you just go throughout LA, but apparently there's gonna be levels. I don't know if it's gonna be linear. Is it gonna be a linear story and you just gotta go through each level, going through the different sides of town? That would be something, I guess. But yeah. This next one is Undisputed Boxing. It looks awesome. Still in the early access stage, so it's got some work to do until it's just right. But man, I haven't played a boxing game since the 360 era with the fight night games. So that it's made by a British developer, so I don't know if it's gonna have a lot of you know, representation of Americans and American boxers, but I'd imagine it will. But they are gonna have some British boxers, so that should be super cool. And then the last one I saw was Warhammer 40k bolt gun. It's a new boomer shooter, quote unquote. It looks awesome, and I just got done replaying a bunch of the original Doom the other night, so this was just like, this just came across and I'm like, oh shit, a new Doom, oh my god. And it looks really fun, honestly. It looks awesome. So I don't know where that's at. I have to look more information up on that, see when it's coming out, see where it's going, if it's PC, what's the dealio, because it looks awesome. Cannot wait for that. But this is actually a super short show compared to what I did the other day. Well, I guess not. We're at 40 minutes. But yeah, we're just gonna end the show off with some discussions. Obviously these are gonna get better as time goes on, you know, but because I have no way to, I don't know how. I'm not even trying to really make transitions in between these different categories of the podcast, but we'll figure out how to do it eventually, you know. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to talk about Bethesda, but we kind of went over that a little bit, you know, like why are gamers so forgiving of Bethesda and their janky releases? I feel like it just doesn't make sense, you know. I know that, you know, Bethesda made some great releases, you know. They did Fallout, Skyrim, Oblivion, you know, Morrowind. They did some great shit, you know, Dishonored. But I don't know. I don't get why it's so accepted that, you know, it's gonna be janky. You know, your save files might get corrupted, this and that, and that's no god. We're in 2023, people. Get your shit together. You know what? And why is delays so accepted as well? You know, if it's not ready, just leave it as a, you know, a coming soon or just a general year. To keep delaying titles just makes us feel there's a lot of filler. I feel like, you know, especially if it's a major title you're interested in and they just keep pushing it. Like, could you imagine if there was nothing you wanted to play in well, I can't even think of when Halo Infinite came out. I feel like that came out last year, but I think that was 2021. Anyway, say like 2020, you have nothing to play, nothing interests you, but Halo Infinite's coming out, and then they announce we are delaying it a year, and you have nothing to play for a while, and that just, you get these filler games. And it'd be different if they were just like, Halo Infinite is in development, we're not giving you a release. Like, just know your own product. It's like when they It's like this Last of Us game, right? You're telling me they play tested this game and didn't see any issues? Obviously they did it for a quota or to try and get it in line with the TV show, but that's just bullshit, bro. That's not right. just make sure the game works. Just make sure the games work. That's all I'm saying. Jesus. Also, what is the bigger battle for Microsoft? Launching Starfield in June up against Diablo 4 and Final Fantasy 16, or launching alongside Spider-Man 2 directly, you know? With the Bethesda janky methods of release, I could see many people passing on Starfield for a bit until they work out the kinks. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's coming to Game Pass. Like, I can wait a little bit while I play through Spider-Man 2, like I said. I don't know if I think Final Fantasy 16 is, you know, it's gonna make an equal impact to Spider-Man 2. It's possibly just gonna be a longer game. Like, Spider-Man 2 is, like I said, 10 to 15 hours. Final Fantasy 16 could be like 25, 30. I'm not even sure. It's been forever since I played like a mainline Final Fantasy. I think the last one was the 7 remake, which that was kind of short. That was like a 15-hour game or so. I don't know how that would be. You know, obviously Diablo 4 is, I think it's going to be a mess when it launches, but we'll just have to see. I've heard great things from the beta, but I don't know. That's a toughie. Like, what would you rather go up against, Final Fantasy 16 or Spider-Man 2? They're both huge fan bases, but I don't know. You know, maybe if Starfield actually needs some work and it's not finished, then this is fine. Compete with Spider-Man. But if they actively want to go and compete with Spider-Man, that's just bonkers. That doesn't make any sense. Like, that's a huge title. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure which one would be a better competition for Microsoft. Which, I mean, they're both Sony's games at this point. Final Fantasy 16 is going to be exclusive. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting going June forward. You know, so far this year has been a little light, you know. I mean, we had Dead Space in January, Hogwarts in February. March we had a lot of releases in March, but nothing really crazy other than Resident Evil 4. Nothing huge though, which is kind of disappointing, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think of that, you know. But, you know, the sales are going to be there. The MPD, we're going to see who does better in September. And that's going to be hilarious. That is going to be hilarious. But then again, it's on Game Pass, so what the fuck? Like, how do you measure that? Like, just go by reviews at this point. Because everybody played it on Game Pass. Like, I'm sure nobody bought Halo Infinite, the disc copy. They just played it on Game Pass for $15 a month or some shit. Also, this is actually a pretty interesting rumor that has been circling around, is that Microsoft could make a power play and potentially turn Xbox online play into a free system with Game Pass adding value for, you know, $15 a month. And similar to, you know, the system the PS3 had back in the day, except obviously Xbox's network is much more stronger than what the PS3 was. But honestly, this is a crazy concept. Could you imagine if Xbox went free to, like, online play is free? You can just hop on Xbox and play online for free, right? That'd be a huge fuck you to Sony. That would definitely, and it gives a reason for people to buy Xbox. You know, that's a huge selling point. I think that would actually be a pretty smart move. And, you know, maybe like work people into the ecosystem, and eventually maybe they see Game Pass, and then you get them that way, you know. Because overall, I think they want to build Game Pass, because like everybody hypes Game Pass up, but I do not think that that's a lot of subscribers, like 20-25 million. throughout the entire world is a little low to me. I think I said it on the last podcast. That is light. Honestly, I do think that is light. I wonder how much PlayStation Plus has. That'd be a really interesting comparison, but I don't think they have those numbers out, or I never looked into it. But yeah, what do you guys? I would really like to know what you guys would think of that. Would you consider buying an Xbox solely because the online is free? You know, say you have a PS5 or a PC, would you think about doing that? That would be something. And then there's also rumors of Assassin's Creed Mirage being delayed to 2024. Honestly, that's a good rumor. Out of all rumors, Ubisoft needs a major hit to turn things around, so I'd be okay with that. Just delay it, get it perfect. Hopefully, you know, they can. I heard they're still using the old Assassin's Creed engine, so maybe they're trying to change the engines around, do something with that. I'm not sure, but hopefully, this combined with Splinter Cell remake and the Prince of Persia remake, Ubisoft might make it before being sold to some random company like Tencent. So yeah, that's, you know, it needs to be amazing. Assassin's Creed it's been a good long minute since I've really been into Assassin's Creed, which just sucks. It just sucks. Like, I think first 3 was really good, like Brotherhood, all that's classic. 4 was good, even though some people roasted it for some unknown reason. And then Unity as well. I really liked Unity, even though a lot of people were pissed off about all the bugs and whatnot, but I didn't really experience too much. A couple things, but, you know, nothing game breaking, like constant, you know. And then Syndicate, I fell off. I didn't really like Syndicate. I think I played Odyssey at E3, and I was kind of feeling it, but I was like, I don't know if I'm digging this new combat mechanics, you know. And then so I pretty much just passed on Odyssey and Origins. My buddy played Origins, and he made it out to be like it was actually decent. It was just a lot of filler, you know, and so I don't know. I kind of but I got Valhalla. I played through Valhalla, and that was honestly a waste of my fucking time is what it was. I played way too much. I played over 100 hours of Valhalla. I don't think I got everything. I got a lot. I finished a lot in that game, but I couldn't contain myself to just fucking do these meaningless tasks and quest lines and all this shit that they weren't creative, they weren't unique, they were almost all copy and pasted at a point. It was very disappointing, and I don't know why the fuck I did it. I don't know why I spent so much time on that game. I got into the setting, like the Norse mythology and the Vikings. I ate that shit up. I really did. I was stupid, you know, looking back on it. But, you know, it wasn't, I don't know. They really need to do something with Assassin's Creed Mirage. They really need to do like a really cool, you know, top tier movie level experience, like a great plot line, you know, none of this childish shit anymore. Really go all the way in, you know, get good voice actors, do some shit. Ubisoft, do some fucking shit, please. Please. I don't want them to go away. They have so many fucking titles. I don't want them to just be absorbed by somebody, you know? Which I feel like that's the way everything is going. Like, these companies are fucking up so much. Ubisoft, Square. The only one doing decent is, I think, Capcom. That's about it. Konami has been outsourcing their IPs to random developers that honestly know how to make the game better than they do at this point. So, I don't know. I feel like everybody's just going to get absorbed, and it's going to be these big-ass companies all versus each other, you know? Which, I guess that's inevitable. We'll see. Not that long ago, Capcom was also on that list. Yeah, they just made a fucking comeback around Resident Evil 7. But anyway, we're going to look at the games to look forward to in April. The first one, Sherlock Holmes: The Awakened, is coming out April 11th. It looks interesting, especially if you're a Sherlock Holmes fan. This looks like some top-notch Sherlock Holmes. I really wasn't a super big fan of the movies. The first movie was okay. Really didn't care for the TV shows. I think one of them was called Elementary. And then I haven't played a Sherlock Holmes game at all, really. I don't think. But this one looks decent. Looks interesting. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up, but we'll see. Also, Ghostwire Tokyo is coming out April 12th, so the day after that for Xbox fans. Only on the Series X, so I didn't know if that. I thought I saw that on a PS4, but maybe not. Maybe I'm just Mandela effect in this bitch. I don't know. And then Minecraft Legends is coming out April 18th. That's Game Pass day one. I'm gonna check that one out. That should be. I like the last one they did. It was Minecraft. What was that called? I can't even remember. But it was like a Diablo roguelike-esque Minecraft game. It was basic, and I finished it pretty quick, but it was pretty fun. Not bad. This one is going more like a strategic Minecraft game, so that's gonna be. I don't like looking at too many trailers. You know, I don't want to spoil myself, but we'll have to see on that. And then Dead Island 2 coming out April 21st, so that should be awesome. Hopefully, I hope they don't fuck that up. I really do, because I pre-ordered it. And then ending the month off is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That's coming out April 28th. I'm gonna pass on it just because I suck at Souls-like games. I'll probably get it later when a price drop happens, because I wasn't terrible at Star Wars Jedi. Man, I can't remember the fucking Fallen Order. Is that what it was? Jedi Fallen Order. That it wasn't terrible. I just suck. I didn't. And then I heard about the ending, and I was not feeling it. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But that's about it for the show, guys. We went on for about 53 minutes. Not too bad. I'm gonna try and make this an hour show, hour and a half, in the future. So that should be really cool. Really cool. Hopefully I can make these transitions better for you guys instead of just rambling on topic after topic. But I digress. Anyway, let me know about all these topics, everything that you thought of as I talk through it in the comments below. It'd be really interesting to read what you guys think on anything. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to join the Wolf Pack. Peace.